Hi folks. Today I want to talk to you about a thing that I call the 4 W's of test automation. How, W's at the end, what, why, and then how again. Now, instinctively, the first thing we think about when we go to write a test or when you're learning test automation is how. How are we going to write this test? How are we going to test this thing? How are we going to use this library? How are we going to use this language? How does this thing work? Because that's kind of where we all start from. And as it turns out, there are a gazillion YouTube videos. There are a gazillion courses out there. You can find plenty of material on the how, on learning a particular approach, on learning a particular library. In fact, the how is what most courses, most training teaches. But here's the thing. If you want to go fast and you have a choice, it's actually better to focus on a small set of tools and know them really well, have a deep understanding of how they work, of what their philosophy is, what their mindset is, how they're meant to be used, than to have a superficial understanding of a whole lot of tools. Because to be really good at test automation, you need to be fluent in the how. Otherwise, your brain won't have space for the next level up, which is the what. Sort of like when you're learning a new language, if you're struggling with the grammar and the vocabulary and the sentence structure, it's going to be really hard to have a meaningful conversation. And that's why it's so important to master coding, to master the tool fundamental, to master design practices, to conventions, best practices in test automation in the tools that you're going to use. If you don't, it's really hard to shift gears and move to the next level, because your mind needs to be able to switch between levels. And that's where it gets tricky, because how is only the first step. If you stay at the how, you'll never really be very good at test automation. If you stay at the how, it's sort of like you're all dressed up but nowhere to go, because the how isn't what gives us impact in test automation. The how isn't how we make a difference when we write automated tests. To make a real impact, you need to go beyond the how. And the next level beyond the how is the what. What should you be testing? What is the outcome we're looking for? What is a real business goal we need to demonstrate? Maybe the UI is only the surface layer, and what we really need to look at is what's happening in a database, or the messages that are being sent, or the REST endpoints that are being called. But even beyond the what, we can go further than that. We can also go beyond the what to the why. Why is this scenario important? Why is it valuable? Who cares? What's really important? What is the impact of this scenario if it fails? Who needs to know? Because the answer to this question mean the difference between writing an expressive, presentable, living documentation style scenario and maybe just a JavaScript unit test, which will be way faster to write. And so this brings us to the how. But it's not how do I test. We come back to the how, but we have a different test. We have the how at a higher level. How do I serve? How can you leverage your test automation skills to serve the team and your customer better? How can this scenario help others in the team? Can it be a UI unit test that the devs can write to speed up their code? Can it be fleshed out with the BA to get a deeper understanding of the problem and to help everyone and to report on progress, to report on delivery much more effectively? All of these things are at the how can I serve level. I talk a lot about this sort of stuff in the test automation playbook, which you can download at the link below. So make sure you check that out as well if you've not already done so. And I've also created a new Facebook group that you might be interested in called Agile Test Automation Community. There's a link below if you want to join and have some quality conversations about Agile test automation topics. I'd love to hear from you, so please come and join us.